This surely was a good sign, despite of everything I saw. It's slowing down time, changing all the laws. Try to catch it with my hands, so that I can take it home. Hoping I can keep it when I'm dead, when we go. Try to catch it with my, catch it with my, try to catch it with my. Sometimes fast and sometimes slow, they are falling to the ground. Dance around in circles, and I catch them with my mouth. It softens all the noises, it softens all the things. Everything is wild. So I kiss you with my hand, try to hold and make it stay. In the end it melts away. Try to catch it with my, so I catch it with my hand, try to hold and make it stay. In the end it melts away.
Hey, what's up, people? Welcome back to another live. We are live. We're gonna definitely get into this one. It's called I Have a Binge Eating Disorder. Very familiar if you've known or have been watching Foodie Beauty for a few years. You know she's talked about this ad nauseum on multiple occasions for years now until she kind of stopped because she deleted all those videos or at least hid them, and now we are back with it. We did actually watch a video where she mentioned her binge eating disorder that she wasn't officially diagnosed a couple years back. I should have marked that video, that throwback. I'm gonna have to look through and see which one it was. Other than that, hey, I'm here. Hopefully you guys are having a happy Saturday. And we're gonna get started. Mary, what's up? Welcome, Pataray, Dynamite, Peach Cobbler, Sam R, Smelly Cat, Lynn Smith, Jamie Katz, Nicole E, Oranges, Poranges, Marie, what's up? Jess Esquire, how you doing? Allison Wonderland, hello, Nicole E. Cypher, welcome. How you doing, man? A Fish, Deb F, Stella, Whispering, Fairy, Beckaboo, Dynamite, and everybody else. Okay, yeah, I think Stella, didn't you call it? Her World, what's up? Loving your latest video. I'm gonna have to put a link to that. Just after this, I'm gonna do it. Ah man, you know what? It's funny. I thought about that movie. Was it the Steven Seagal movie where the two dread guys had there were no they were triplets, but people always thought they were just one of them until one of them got unalived, and then the twin took over. But it wasn't really twins; it was triplets. That the Steven Seagal movie? Like one of them fell, and he was like the boss of like a crew of like I don't know what kind of crew it was, but was that the same movie that you did? Because I'm like, what the hell was that movie that I watched? Yes, it is Marked for Death. Okay, Sabrina, what's up? It is the same movie. Oh, MG, man. Okay, because I was thinking about that movie for like the longest time. I'm like, who the hell? What the hell is that movie called again? Okay, good to know. All right, let's get started. Let me share my screen and we're gonna get that started. All right, let's go. All right.
Hello, my name is Foodie Beauty, aka
Oh,
Chantal Marie
BMI
Olive
voice.
Zero Miriam El Rafai, and I have binge eating disorder.
Susan, what's up?
I think you're gonna be a bit like, duh, we know this. Um, but honestly, as many times as I've heard myself say on this channel that I have a binge eating disorder, this is like the first time that I actually realize what that kind of sort of means more.
Yeah, royalties, what's up? You know what you shouldn't do is maybe stuff yourself full of Burger King the night before you start a diet. How about that? Because I would think logically, if I have an issue with eating too much food or too much calories of food, the last thing I'm gonna do is binge out literally the night before I start a diet. Maybe that is the problem and not an eating disorder. Hey, Brandy Reed, what's up? Unless she got diagnosed in Kuwait, no, that's a
Than
different
ever.
story.
I realize that I cannot fight this alone. I need support, and that it's a very serious mental illness. It's not just about losing weight, and that a diet cannot fix this. I realize I have a really warped relationship with food,
Right, Sam?
and my compulsion to eat and binge is stronger than I am right now. And I need to learn ways to cope with that. So, that being said, um, I tried to start my diet from starting today, and that diet is a mistake when you're trying to treat binge eating disorder. And I've been told this many times, but it's like my brain doesn't learn. Like, my brain goes through a
2019, she
cycle.
said it.
And we all know what my cycle is because people have illustrated online, people make fun of it, and I know I'm going to get made fun of for this video, which is why I chose to clam up about it, or would choose to clam up about it over and over again, and not open up about my struggles or when I'm failing on trying to eat healthy.
Hey, lover of life.
But I think I'm going to shift my content to just sharing in a daily vlog my struggles, um, with trying to get better. I've had binge eating disorder for many years, maybe greater than 20 years. I do have some medical documents.
Greater than 20 years. Interesting. Funny how, and I do believe it was 2019 that she did say that she wasn't diagnosed. Now she's saying that she's been diagnosed for 20 plus years. Hmm.
From my binge eating disorder assessment, I will share with you in a few minutes. I just wanted to give you a bit of an introduction. This
Has anyone else noticed whenever she's really lying that the eyes go left or up or right and she starts to blink a lot? Or is that just me? All right, let's hear this again.
maybe greater than 20 years. I do have some medical documents from my binge eating disorder assessment I will share with you in a few minutes.
Hey,
I
Carrie.
just wanted to give you a bit of an introduction. This is not the video I was planning on making today. I was planning on, you know,
I don't believe her, Mary.
going.
I literally heard and saw her say that she wasn't diagnosed in one of the throwbacks that we're doing a few weeks back. It wasn't that long ago, maybe a month, maybe two. We were doing throwbacks and we caught it. I just wish I had marked which video it was on that she said, yeah, I wasn't officially diagnosed because I heard it, I saw it, I know that she said it.
Just, I guess, just showing you guys, like, okay, I expected to just wake up and be better, to be able to conquer this now. I always thought it was something in my willpower that was wrong. And like, okay, I'll have this for breakfast, then I'll have this for lunch. And it would just all go routine and smooth. And I would have a vlog for you today showing you that I could stick to this
Hey, Jahari.
1100 calorie diet that we spent probably too much money on, and for not an adequate amount of food for binge eating disorder recovery. And I realized that also when I was on TikTok watching, be scrolling, and on my For You page, there was a couple of women, young women,
True
who
Rocky.
also have binge eating disorder, and they are going through the recovery phases. And what they are eating, it was surprising me that they say, I'm not focusing on weight loss, I'm not focusing on dieting. What we're focusing on first is being binge free. And a lot of that has to do with, um, you know, the type of diet, for example, I'm on right now with this food service is not enough,
Hey,
and it,
Katrina.
it will definitely trigger a binge.
Yeah, like didn't we call this last night? So many people called it, such as Stella. Her World was saying the same thing. It's like how can you go from like 6,000 calories a day and then you're doing 11 or 12 or 14? It doesn't make any sense. Maybe taper yourself down, like I said, from 6 to 5,500 to then 5,000, then 4,500, 4,000, and then keep doing it like that over time. Like just slowly taper yourself, and that might work. It's not going to work 100% of the time for 100% of the people, but it might work. For her, going from like 6,000 to like 1,200, 1,100, 1,400, that is just, I wouldn't be able to do that myself, much less Foodie Beauty. And she has a habit of just gorging herself on fast food.
I can feel it, and I've already eaten more, so I've pretty much eaten. The day started as a little optimistic. Okay, I wasn't that hungry from. I had a full meal. I had a full dinner the night before, so naturally I woke up. I wasn't that hungry, and then I had the breakfast, and then I was like, I want that snack. I don't know if I can wait for dessert. I'm gonna have it as a snack. So I had the snack 2 hours later, and then I had lunch, and then with that lunch I had my supper in the same time. So all of the food from the diet box, it's gone,
Okay.
except one salad.
Wow.
So then I'll show you pretty much some clips
True
from the
Rocky.
day after this. I'll show you what I did vlog, and I'll show you some medical records and discuss that with you. So it might be a long video, so you're going to get to learn a lot more about me. And I'm coming to you with full sincerity. I'm opening up, and I find when
Right
I do that,
tight.
when I talk about these things, I feel kind of vulnerable and icky and like weird. Um, but just to preface what I'm going to show you in my medical records, about the visits, the notes from visits when I did go to
Hey, pretty eyes, what's up?
see a binge eating disorder recovery doctor at the psychiatry department when I was living in Ottawa. And I was diagnosed with severe depression and binge eating disorder.
Does anyone know if she's shown these medical records before? I can't recall. Probably because she's deleted so much stuff. But just because you have records from a binge eating doctor doesn't necessarily mean you have a binge eating disorder, because they're gonna, of course, make notes, have records on you, and then they're gonna finalize their assessment whether or not you do or don't have a eating disorder.
um, which honestly just makes life insurmountable. And I try to live like a normal person without these issues, and I just feel like I'm just drowning, you know? So I realize I can't do this alone. So I'm
Hey,
going to be
Nadine.
looking for resources to help me, even if I have to do it online, and maybe some nutritional counseling. Um, there's a lot of podcasts with people, support groups. I might even make a support group. I don't know if any of you specifically have binge eating disorder. I don't mean like if it's not just people who, there's different categories of people who are obese, and binge eating, not everyone who's obese has binge eating disorder. It's a specific type of
Feel rocky.
disorder that's like, unless you have it, it's very hard to understand. And you see that all the time in comments with people like, why don't you just walk more? Why don't you just eat less? And it's, I wish it was that easy. I really do. So I recognize that all of these things are valid, but they're also my responsibility to try to heal my.
Yeah, isn't that, yeah, Susan, you're bringing up a good point. They give you nutritional counseling with this eating service. Yeah, she said that they do give her help in terms of like a counseling along with the meals. So why isn't that working?
myself. So um, that's a work in progress. And I realized that I probably won't be healthy enough in a couple months to travel around and go hiking and do all these things in different countries that I want to do. And I can't rush this. I was trying to rush it, and there's that's just not going to work.
Facts,
And I
Becca.
have to come to that realization. So, me wanting to do these diets and these fixes and everything is just what I've always known to do. And I've also always wanted to um, just basically restrict. After binging, I just want to restrict and
Facts,
just,
Cypher.
so yeah, it's just horrible. So what I'm gonna do, I think, with this diet box is just supplement the month, because Salah already paid for like a whole month for me.
Mm-hmm.
Another important thing that I have to do is really sit down and have a talk with him about
Do you think she made this video before even telling Stella in hopes he would feel sorry for her? Probably, because I don't think he's there a lot.
my medical conditions like in full, like read through these medical reports with him, because he doesn't understand binge eating disorder, and I didn't really take the time to properly explain my condition to him. So I think that that's one of the really big walls I hit with having this issue, is that trying to make people understand, it's hard. So I'm going to do that because he really needs to know. So he can be supportive,
Sure.
and he can also be understanding. And I mean, I obviously.
In turn, aka I will misinform him about eating disorders and as well as anything and everything, and he'll also misinform me, such as what he does with the rolling blackouts that happen in Kuwait. Yeah, honey, there's no rolling blackouts in Kuwait. Kuwait doesn't have blackouts. All you gotta do is Google it. They do have blackouts. It happens all the time. Right now, there are so many areas in Canada and America with strained power grids right now because there's heat waves all over the place. And in Kuwait, they have the same thing happening. But of course, there's no blackouts. There's nothing.
Honestly,
Don't worry.
hide binges from everybody. I don't binge. Like, that's why, like, a mukbang that I do is not really a binge because it's overeating for
Hey,
sure. It's
Brooklyn.
overeating, but it's not binging. Binging is something you do in secret and you eat extreme amounts of calories in one sitting, which is why you would see my scale go. I would like gain kgs in like days. Um, and then there's the psychological and emotional after effect of that, like that cycle of guilt, and then you want to restrict, and it's just never ending. So, but you don't, it's like I guess even after being diagnosed, after always saying I have binge eating, I'd never fully realized,
Facts, the recovery collected. I'm sure somebody is gonna find the clip where she said that she wasn't officially diagnosed.
this is just not going to be fixed with a diet. You're just going in circles, and yeah, it's insanity. But I realize I'm sick, and I need to take responsibility for my health to get better, and I can't rush it. Um, I need support,
Okay.
so that's what I'm going to be seeking. There's going to be days in these diaries where I'm not
She's
really
gonna
doing too well,
ignore her support. I wholeheartedly believe that.
but I'm going to always be honest, and I think it's important for me to do this and focus this, make this the main focus of my life because I can't do anything else until this is fixed.
Yes, Oogie Boogie.
So I have to do it. And I want to live a long, happy, healthier life, not worrying about food every second of the day. Um, I don't think I don't think I realized fully how much of my life has been consumed by food. I'm the one supposed to be doing I'm the one consuming the food, but it's also honestly consuming me in a lot of ways.
Actually, that's pretty accurate. That yeah, she might be consuming the food, but the food is consuming her in a lot of ways, as in shortening your time on the planet.
I'm the
Yes.
one consuming the food, but it's also honestly consuming me in a lot of ways. So, um, all right, so let's get to the rest of the video. I'm going to show you what I managed to vlog today.
In all honesty, I expect another mukbang by tomorrow. Tomorrow Sunday, right? If not tomorrow, by Monday. But yeah, I expect wholeheartedly for her to go straight back to mukbangs. They've been, giving her the views. They've been having her live her comfortable beachside condo lifestyle in Kuwait. I don't think it's gonna change anytime soon, to be honest with you. I think we're gonna keep seeing mukbangs until the mukbangs aren't mukbanging, and then maybe move on to something else. But I don't know. Maybe by then she may be still being Kuwait. Who knows? Hey, honeydew. Maybe not. We'll see. Something's gonna happen.
You could see I started out
Right, smelly cat. Probably by tonight.
very optimistic about. I'm sorry, I didn't think I was gonna like get emotional like that, but
Yes. Rest in peace to Caleb Willingham. Right? Is that what the husband's name is? I should know this. Yeah, Caleb Willingham unfortunately passed away. Tammy Slayton's husband passed away at 40 years old. They were married less than a year. At first, I heard he was doing really well, but then all of a sudden, we didn't hear about him anything whatsoever. And then now we're confirming he's passed away. Just like that, people can go. Just like that, you might be doing okay. You might have a slip or fall, literally or physically, in terms of you literally slipping or falling, or maybe in terms of like with food. And then boom, you're just done. You're just out. You're gone. Yeah, 40 years old is really young. And that is why people keep saying, Foodie, you got to do what you got to do to survive. This is not a game, it's not a joke. You can't use this as entertainment for views. Well, I guess you can, but then at the end of the day, it might come back to you. Because look at all the people that we are familiar with that have come and gone. Like Life by Jen, rest in peace, Life by Jen, Caleb Willingham. So many people have passed away because of their issues with food and weight and other things. Like it can happen to any of us.
Just thinking about like when I woke up and I had the diet food ready to go, and Salah was like all proud of me and to start, and I guess I feel guilty and like a failure, for not sticking to it, even though even though I know logically that this is not going to treat my eating disorder, that I need help. So anyway, I'm just tired
Yeah, food can kill.
and defeated.
Good for HFC.
So I guess that's it. I'm going to show you some medical records I went through, logged into my medical files that you can access online in Ontario. And
I think she ate a lot more of, I think she ate a whole day's worth of meal, from my understanding, in one go. So now she has this up, not like a week, a week's worth of meals. What they do is they deliver, was it? They deliver meals every day. So the most you can eat is a whole day's worth of meal in one sitting, which is what she did. So the next day's worth of meals will be delivered, and I believe it's the morning time. I know, or is it the evening time for the next day? But then that doesn't make sense if it does it the evening time for the next day, because then it wouldn't be fresh. Makes sense that they deliver it in the morning. Yes,
I
daily.
went through my history to show you a little bit of my notes from that. I blocked out, the personal information of the doctors and things like that. But yeah, and I also have some clips from my vlog from today, which will be hard to edit. But anyway, all right, so thank you for listening to me. Again, I'm going to look into eventually maybe creating like some kind of support group on Facebook, because one thing that really I find really hard is the loneliness,
True life of
of
Lindsay. She had said it's the morning and she has said at night, but then she started saying that what they would do was deliver it the day before. But I think what's happening is that the day before deliveries should be the day she's eating it, but then she eats it the next day, which is confusing the hell out of a lot of people, because it's a daily delivery service, which typically you would have your meals delivered in the morning, and then you eat your different shares, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But what she did was just eat it all at once, and then she flies into this mode. I have a binge eating disorder. I want to start crying. Well, maybe not Gorgon Burger King.
other people who have the same problem. So
Hey,
I
me
also
Judy.
like to help people with my content, and I hope that does occur. So anyway, here it is, and thanks for watching. Hey, hello! Welcome back to my kitchen. So I'm gonna get out my breakfast out of the fridge.
What do you mean by tap it back, Just Janie?
So they come in these containers, and this is the breakfast. So I'm gonna put it in the air fryer for like a few seconds, well, maybe a minute or so.
Okay. Hey,
With
Kelly.
some foil.
Cool.
I actually don't know what it is. So it's
The burger.
actually on a like potato bun, I think, with cucumber, halloum, and za'atar. So it's like a breakfast sandwich. I'm gonna put that in the air fryer.
Becca Boo's like, the SEX will burn up some calories, just saying. That's what she was saying back in 2021. Talking about how much she's getting and how much calories it's burning. I remember those days.
So yeah, so they make the delivery the day before for today's meal. So yesterday they delivered, and today I eat these meals, and then today they're going to deliver for tomorrow.
Is that actually true? Didn't somebody take a look at that company and say that they're supposed to deliver it in the morning? How the hell is it fresh if it's being delivered the day before? Like, that doesn't make any sense. It makes more sense that they deliver it the day off, right? Like, you get there, because if you deliver it the evening before and you're eating something, it could be more than 24 hours that it's been made. Like, let's say they deliver it 4, 5, 6 o'clock, because they're not damn as hell not delivering it at 9 or 10 p.m. at night. So if they deliver it 4 to 6 the latest, and you eat it like at 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, that's like more than 24 hours the food's been there. Hey, Rob, what's up? That don't make no sense. Like, she said so many things that are just so contradictory.
So yeah, so they make the delivery the day before for today's meal. So yesterday they delivered, and today I eat these meals, and then today they're going to deliver for tomorrow. So yes, I'm going to show you what I'm going to have to drink. Some cold water. I've never had hot cucumber. Okay, let's try a bite. It's hot though. You bite?
Okay. It's so good, right? It's not good. Her eyes aren't rolling back. She isn't moaning. You know it's not good.
Cucumber's still crunchy.
Sure.
It's actually quite nice.
It's mostly bread.
I don't know why the bun's yellow. I'm assuming it's a potato bun.
So fresh. Not.
All right, so I'm going to eat this and get on with my day. See you guys for lunch, my second meal. Okay, now I'm going to have these
Dessert.
little chocolate nut ball things. I guess this is considered my dessert for today. Let's try it. Peanuts, chocolate, coconut, dates, I think. Like energy balls. All right, so here's my lunch.
I think, who called it as turmeric bread? Somebody said that the bread for breakfast was probably turmeric. I think you're right. Turmeric bread is super yellow. Yeah, I think, yeah, you're probably right, because it does provide powerful antioxidants to keep you healthy.
It is like 2:30. I'm so hungry. So here's a salad with some kind of, looks like vinaigrette maybe. Some chicken and a small portion of rice.
That rice
So I'm going
is
to try this out.
pretty sticky.
I'm having a 64 calorie can of iced tea. Breaking my rule already. So I'm already like freaking out, reaching into the Doritos. So I at least tried to portion them out and into these servings. And I'm eating the lunch as well. The dinner that they give you.
Okay.
because I just found it like such a small portion. And anyway, let's talk.
Oh crap, it's small.
I'm also going to have this mini Mars.
Yes, let's do this. Let's just stack the house with Milky Ways, Mars bars. What else was there? Twix. And there was something else that was there on the counter for Eid. Perfect way to start your diet after Eid, after you stacked the house with tons of food and pastries, right? Right? Perfect way. So you're super tempted now.
All right, so this is going to be me going over some medical records and discussing that. So this, if this is boring for you, you could just end the video here. If not, then you can watch on.
All right, judging from this, so this is an after visit summary from 2019. It says that you saw, and the doctor's name, MD, on Thursday, the 7th of November, 2019. The following issue was addressed: binge eating disorder. That does not mean you're diagnosed with a binge eating disorder. It just says that it was addressed. Like I said, you show up to a binge, like an eating disorder specialist. They're gonna put notes on you. They're gonna, do their thing. You see them a few times, and they'll decide at the end of everything whether you do or do not have an eating disorder and what type of eating disorder you have. Just because you've seen them and you have notes that says they addressed binge eating disorder doesn't mean that you have it. They're just actually addressing it, and then they'll decide whether or not they feel that you have it or not. So this actually doesn't tell me anything. This doesn't tell me that she has binge eating disorder. All this tells me is that she went to a doctor for binge eating disorder, as in trying to find a diagnosis.
Um, so this is just a snap screenshot of. I went back and found. I think my one of my visits was here. You can see the date, 7/11/2019. So July 2019. I was seeing the doctor in 2019. So at the time, I was prescribed a Vyvanse and a different antidepressant, Effexor, and recommended to stop the Cipralex. He thought that my, mental illness wasn't being treated well uh, and was causing binging. Now, you will see that the Vyvanse just stopped working for me, and I found it to be increasing my anxiety. And after it would wear off, after a few hours, I would
Hmm.
binge again. So it wasn't very effective for me. It was.
All right, so if you don't know about Vyvanse or Effexor, Vyvanse is used to treat ADHD as well as eating disorders. But remember, she just said she was having some mental health issues along with her supposed binge eating disorder. Um, Effexor, aka venlafaxine, that's used to treat, of course, it's an antidepressant. So it's a serotonin norepinephrine reuptake inhibitor class. It's just an antidepressant. So she was on ADHD meds and an antidepressant for her mental health issues. You could say the Vyvanse was also for the binge eating disorder. Maybe the doctor was maybe trying to see if the Vyvanse would work before he or she came to a conclusion. Who knows? I'm not a doctor, so I wouldn't know. But that kind of does make sense.
Like while it was first kicking in, but it's an amphetamine, and I found it to be really strong and have adverse effects. So here you see, it says today's visit you saw blah 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 doctor on Thursday. 7th of November, not July. Sorry. The following issue was addressed: binge eating disorder. I'm showing this also because I know a lot of people were wondering if I've actually tried treatment at a treatment center and if I actually saw a doctor, which I did, and was diagnosed with binge eating disorder. Also, here, you'll notice it says what's next:
Hmm.
laparotomy for LSO, possible BSO, possible total hysterectomy with possible staging. So I could go through that medical history for those of you who are interested at some point um, with my ovarian cyst.
Yeah, the point of showing these records is to prove that she has a binge eating disorder. But it doesn't say, there's no statement that says you have been diagnosed with a binge eating disorder. It doesn't say that.
and everything like that. So, but yeah, this is just one of the visits here. Okay, so I read the dates wrong. Apparently, it's goes by day, month, year. So this is the visit before that. So initially he started me on Wellbutrin to combine with my medication that I was currently on. Um, so, yeah, again, to address binge eating disorder. And underneath that, I had a peri-op appointment that was getting close to my operation time. And so that was, yeah. And then I guess the dates, like on my What's Next appointment, I think I called him a few times, his office,
Hmm.
to schedule an appointment earlier because I was really struggling. So that's why maybe the dates have changed with the appointments. But yeah, so this is just another example of one of the appointments I have with my binge eating disorder doctor. All right, so here's just some notes from my, I guess, into the summer from the doctor
Okay.
that I was seeing. This is her first outpatient since the initial consultation a month ago. I appeared in good spirits. I started Vyvanse, 20 milligrams a day. It did reduce the binge eating at first, but it did. Yeah, however, she noticed lately.
She does want magic. That's literally what she wanted. And she had some magic in summer of 2021, aka the white gold, the powder that she was using to help her with her weight loss. By all means, to a lot of us, it was working because she kept on taking it and she was losing weight here and there. She would eat whatever she wanted and she could either keep her weight the same or lose some weight. She literally does want magic, but there is no such thing, or is there? But in terms of this, all she needs to do is put in some hard work, do what she needs to do, and she can lose the weight. If HFC can do it, so can her. It's just a mindset thing, and she doesn't have the mindset or the patience. Math, not magic. Listen, any sufficiently advanced technology is, how does the saying go? Indistinguishable from magic. There you go.
That Vyvanse effects tends to fade away in the evenings. Yeah, exactly. Um, I decided to stay on Cypralex because the effects didn't work as well for me. So things were a bit better at this point. Okay, so this was actually
Wait a second. Wait a second. Let's go back a little bit. Okay. It says she started Vyvanse 20 milligrams a day as agreed and managed to reduce binge eating from daily to 3 times in a month. Okay, so, interesting. Well, did they actually diagnose you, Foodie, with the disorder? Because, of course, they're gonna take it seriously until they can figure out whether or not you really do have a binge eating disorder.
the initial consultation with the BED doctor. I was referred to by my family doctor. So here we go. It says, "Thank you for referring Miss Chantal, they misspelled my name
There,
so well,
Allison.
to the Regional Center for the Treatment of Eating Disorders at the blah, blah, blah. The patient was seen today and she was appropriate and cooperative during the assessment. As you recall, she is a 35-year-old woman who lives with her common law boyfriend. She used to work as a secretary at the ROH and has been out of work for the last 2 years. The patient explained that she has been obese since childhood and recalled hiding large quantities of food in her room as a teenager. At the present time, she reported overeating during the day and binge eating at night. She usually binges in her bedroom when her boyfriend is at work, or she will binge in her car when she buys large amounts of fast food. She estimated spending about $600 per month on binge food, which is more. She denied any purging behavior. Her weight taken today was above 150 kg, which is the maximum on the scale. The patient is also struggling with depression. She
Wow.
used to be on Cypralex in the past, and 2 months ago she put herself back on Cypralex at 10 milligrams a day. It was not has not been effective improving her mood, which she rated at 1 out of 10. She didn't denied any suicidal intention or plan. So that was the one of the initial parts of the notes from the first visit. So furthering to that, his general impression, uh, and I guess this is where the diagnosis comes in. This is a morbidly obese 35-year-old woman presenting with a binge eating disorder of at least 20 years duration. The binge eating
Okay.
disorder is comorbid with a major depression that is still active and not responding to Cipralex. And then the management plan, which I think I did describe at the time to you guys, not to eat in the car, purchase fast food, which is very easier said than done when you're also addicted to fast food. So, but yeah, of course, that would be the ultimate goal. Um, so that was from the doctor for treatment that I saw. So these tests are put in chronological order, I think. The dates at the bottom there, I just blurred out the doctors who ordered these, but at one time when my binging
Wow, well, she has some echo.
was the worst, 17.9 is very high, and they were concerned about that. And then you can see it go down to 14, and then
Holy crap. I guess she didn't figure that there was an echo here. All right, I guess I'm gonna have to listen while it echoes.
um,
What that's what she told the doctor, not a diagnosis this time. Yeah, presenting with a binge eating disorder isn't the same as being diagnosed. They're actually treating it as it is a binge eating disorder until they can further figure out whether it is or not. Is that her video? Yes, it is. Sam says the echo is your soul taking talking from hell.
so that was from the doctor for treatment that I saw. So these tests are put in chronological order, I think. The dates at the bottom there, I just blurred out the doctors who ordered these, but at one time when my binging was the worst, 17.9 is very high, and they were concerned about that. And then you can see it go down to 14, and then over the subsequent time down to 8 something, then in the ranges of the 6. And it's been in the 6s anytime that I would get it so far. I would get my
Okay.
blood test done.
Mm-hmm.
So these are just to prove, I guess people didn't believe me that my blood sugars were, um, reducing. And that's just like my binging has been more under control. I mean, I used to hide.
Thank you, Daisy and me. Appreciate you for your skills and your knowledge here. As Daisy and me says, she's a diabetic RN educator.
I used to order large pizzas every night. And, I was just really unhappy, and my depression was really bad. And I just would really, really binge on a lot of junk food every single night. And then I was, really in the throes of it. It was just worse. Sometimes the disorder is better than other times, but as you can see from the blood work, whatever is going on, at some point it started to get better. So I found these. I just thought I would share that with you.
Okay. So
So
wait a second. So this is why she thinks she was no longer diabetic because she has a 6.4 millimole per liter value. But then, as Daisy Me says, her blood sugar was 17 plus to 6.4. Normal is below 6.1. Drug use helped lower it, but remained diabetic. Her eating weight would make it high again, and she doesn't check. Exactly. She's not checking. Do you think she's checking? I think if she was checking, she'd show it on video, right? What question did Lorraine have? Oh, what's the A? I'd have to convert that. Uh, but but yeah, good question. You would throw up, says Marie. So this is why she thinks she doesn't have diabetes anymore, which is so dangerous.
I found these. I just thought I would share that with you. So there's a website, mybinge.ca, which is like made by the government of Canada. I believe you can go and do a self-assessment that you can bring to a doctor to discuss that with. And these were my results, which I already have been, diagnosed. I just wanted to see what it would say. So they send you this email at the end. You can email it to yourself, and also you can send it to your go to a doctor to get it discussed. And to end the video, self-education is also part of recovery. along with
Mhm.
getting help. So I'm not denying that I do need therapy, but it just to show you, for those of you who aren't familiar with binge eating disorder, that binge eating is a serious mental health issue.
Okay, so for a blood glucose level or seven, not 7.6. What am I saying? It's a 6.4 she had, right? 6.4 is about a 5.6, 5.7 uh, in terms of A1C. So 6.4 millimoles per liter, which is about 115 or so milligrams per deciliter, is the same as a 5.6 or 5.7 on the A1C. Just for anybody's knowledge.
Still has a lot of stigma around it. And these are just some helpful excerpts from articles that I found interesting about the diet cycle. You eat uncontrollably, then you restrict for making up for a binge, and repeat, rinse, lather, repeat, as they say. These are just talking about intuitive eating as well, um, a hunger scale,
Thanks,
because
Jen.
if you wait too long, it triggers a binge.
So, Miss Lena.
Nutritional counseling, and about dieting. I found this article to be interesting from a nutritionist helping in eating disorder recovery. And the one thing they point out is they include keto in that, and as part of a fad diet, as being a restrictive diet for people recovering from eating disorder, binge eating disorder. So I just found that interesting, and only about 5% of dieters are actually successful. The restriction, deprivation, guilt, and shame, those are why they fail. Is are some
This why is she bringing this up? Okay, so if anyone missed that, she said she was 6.4 millimoles per liter. That is about 5.6 or slash 5.7, somewhere in between that for your A1C, which is about 115 milligrams per deciliter, if you're familiar with how that is. So it's between a 5.6, 5.7 for A1C, which is on the cusp between normal and pre-diabetes. So was that the reason why she felt that she was no longer diabetic, because it was leaning more towards the normal side rather than anything else? Maybe that's why she said that how many months ago she was no longer diabetic.
some of the reasons, and they also omit or demonize certain foods or food groups. So I found this very interesting. So I'm going to continue to research and to find proper help and keep working on this. I'm not going to give up, and I appreciate you guys listening to me. See you in the next one.
And that is it from Foodie Beauty. So we had a lot of ranting and rumbling there. Maybe I should do a vote. I guess so. Is does Foodie Beauty? Oh yeah, I should do a poll. Does Foodie Beauty have a binge eating disorder? Does FB have a binge eating disorder? Yes, no. Maybe I'll put in a maybe, and then I'll ask the community. So you guys tell me what's up. What do you guys think? Other than that, I don't know what to say. I'm not convinced because throughout all of this,
People when I go through that.
all I saw was just some her giving off appointments and stuff, and them treating her as if she does have a disorder, um, rather than and then maybe making diagnosis at a later time. Because if it says, you know, that she went for the treatment of an eating disorder, of course they're going to treat you like that until they can rule out whether you do have an eating disorder or not. So you guys, tell me what you guys think about this situation. What are your thoughts? What is going to happen? Is she going to binge out tonight? Are we going to have another video? Are we going to she refuses to walk? I think walking would help because I watched this channel called like Vegas Low Roller, and he used to be a really big guy, and then he's now way smaller than what he was, a lot healthier. And people asked him, "Hey, how come you lost so much weight?" And he was like, "I just decided one day to get up off my ass and just start walking everywhere. And that's how he lost his weight. You gotta factor in walking. You gotta help yourself, is what I gotta say. So if she can't defeat her local hill that she used to walk up and down on back in 2021, I know some of you would know that hill that I'm talking about at the park. She used to like walking in that area mostly when people are not around, because then of course she hates when people watch and look at her. Man, that was tiny to her, much less Mount Everest to base camp. Can you imagine? Maybe try somewhere else first. Maybe defeat the local hill in Ottawa. Yeah, if she did like 15 minutes twice per day to start, or even like 5 minutes, then maybe try and do 10, then 15, then do 20, then 30. The one she rolled down, no, that is a different hill. That's the hill by the aviation center. And that's rather way larger than the regular hill that she used to walk at the park. So the hill that she used to walk at was the park hill that she used to drive for a long time to get to, walk for a couple of minutes and be completely exhausted. The other hill that she rolled down on, that is by the aviation center when she was in between the long road and her home. I'm familiar with that place because I've driven by there a few times before. It's not bad. I mean, like, what can I say about the Canadian Aviation and Space Museum? It's a museum. All right. Let me check out the vote. Let's see here. Most of you are saying, "Wow, it's okay." Does FB have a BED? Most of you are saying no. Okay, well, vote now. I'm gonna end it really soon. Hey, people, thanks for coming by and hanging out. You started at 7 minutes twice a day. Yeah, that's all you gotta do. Just start. Just do something. Like, starting is the hardest part, as well as maintaining it after you start is also hard, because then the pain comes in. It's painful to get up. It's painful, when you're walking and your body hurts and you still have all that weight, but you still just got to continue. And that's all you got to do. This is all for content, says Fraudy and Slip. She has no desire to change anything. I think so as well. Thank you, Whispering Fairy. Appreciate you. Yeah, all you got to do is just do something consistently. Of course, it's hard. Yeah, it starts with a clap. Yeah, for sure. You just got to start and you just got to continue. Like, the pain's going to be there. It's going to hurt like hell. Many days you're not going to want to do it, but just, just do it. Just get up and put your shoes on, get out the door and do it. And you keep doing it, and you will see results. You have to see results if you keep doing something consistently like that, like walking, make sure you're eating properly. There's so many things she can do, but she needs to do it now, because now it's sad that Caleb, or is it Caleb Willingham, passed away, which is, if you don't know, Tammy Slayton's estranged husband, married for was it less than a year? When did Caleb and Tammy marry? I forgot now. Wasn't it? Because they kind of, she split from him in like early May. Like early May, we're hearing these news reports. But when did they get married? I forgot now for some reason. No, they tied the knot November 20th, 2022. So well less than a year, and the guy has passed away. Yeah, Caleb passed away. News reports have been presenting it for the past few hours that he's now resting in peace. He was 40 years old. I remember making videos where Tammy would have him on her TikTok, and they were great together. And yeah, the guy's unfortunately lost his life. So, people, I'll be back later. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Let me end this vote. So, most of you think that she does not have a BED at 44%. Some of you think, 130, you think that she does have a binge eating disorder. 31%, 23% of us have no idea, or just maybe just sitting on the fence. All right, I'll be back later. It is a Saturday after all. Enjoy yourselves. Is he the guy with the respirator? Yes, he had the same thing that Tammy did at one point in time. They met at the facility that they were both at. They tied the knot. You want me to put up a picture? Maybe I will do that. I'll put up a picture, because some of us are visual people. Yeah, I'll put up this picture. So this is both of them on their wedding day and whatnot. There we go. And now we need to move this over. But yeah, it's very unfortunate that he's passed away. Kind of super sad. So remember, this is Caleb. I don't know how to pronounce it, so I'll just. But there they are. Yeah, he had the tube in, and there you go. All right, people, take care of yourselves. Thanks, Fish. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Mary, for modding. Yeah, prayers to his family. Is very unfortunate. Really young guy. 40 years old is really young. And he was doing all the right things to make his life better by being at that facility, which I'm sure is not cheap. And this still happened to him. It's very unfortunate. Anyways, people, I'm out of here. Thank you so much once again. Take care of yourselves. Have a good one. And just be safe. Oh, to all my Canadians out there, happy Canada Day. July the 1st is Canada Day. People are going to have some fireworks tonight. Take care of yourselves, people. Bye-bye.